Hello, my name is Amber and welcome to my YouTube channel where I upload time lapses sometimes. This is the time lapse I did of my Hadestown painting. This is like the second painting I've done. It's going so fast. And like really done on Procreate, so I was still kind of like learning what I was doing and still am. As you can see, I kind of started with a base, which, oh, I feel so like I have to like confess I like traced lightly around the original picture. I don't know why it feels like such a crime to do. Anyway, I did that and then I couldn't find the original photo, or like it didn't look how I wanted it to or something. So I like started painting over it, which was a lot. And so it took 15 hours on top of like whatever amount of time that first drawing took, which maybe an hour. I don't know how. I was like trying really hard to get the colours right and stuff, but it didn't work out. So this is where I got to. Instead, oh, I don't know what to say. Um, I went to see Hadestown recently, which is weird to say out loud because I've been listening to the musical since like 2019 or 2020. Somewhere in my thing it said 2021, like when I was looking back on my photos, but I swear I started listening to it in 2019. Anyway, it means a lot to me, and it's finally come to the West End, and I'm lucky enough that I live in London and I got to see it. And this is me like changing Grace's hair to be more like the wig, because the original photo reference I used was from the like first sort of press photos. So I started it in like February, and the first press photos came out, and then finished it after I went to see it. I was struggling, like looking back. I'm so glad I like had, I don't know, used the references and stuff to make it look more like them. Um, oh yeah, the Eurydice wig hadn't been done, but now it's done and on stage. It looks amazing. I'm such a fan of it. And yeah, I was just, I don't know, doing what I've learnt to do in painting in the past few years, like building up colours and trying to not assume what colour things are, because you'll like colour pick it and realise it's an entirely different colour. And I like really poured out all the tricks with this one, like I flipped it back and forward, I changed it to black and white. That's a really good tip, I think, especially in paintings like this where you're trying to make it look realistic, like to make the original image black and white and then make your painting black and white, so you can see like where you're lacking the contrast and like where the values aren't quite right. I think that's the right word. So that's what I kept doing. Mm, and yeah, just playing around with the colours and stuff. It's easy to sit here and be like, oh, this is just what I did, but it was very hard and long and time consuming, and yeah, yes. Oh, here I'm adding some of the like ribbony stuff they've got in the wig, which is so cool. Maybe I'll put a picture of it on the screen. I can't remember the wig makers who made it, but oh, I'm so impressed by it. It's so cool. I wish, I don't know, I had all the space and money in the world and time in the world. I could like get into wig making because it's sick. It's very clever. I was playing around with lighting. I do feel like a bit of a fraud using digital painting because there's so many things that are easier with it than real painting. See, even then I said it, real painting. But I think that's only within myself. I don't think that about other people. And you know, as a species, we evolve and create new technology, and it's okay to use it. Duh. And I love digital painting. It's really cool. But yeah, sometimes I feel like a cheat by using it. I don't know. So I try and keep the process as like authentic as possible, like closer to traditional painting as possible. But I mean, there's no need to. It's fine to use blending modes and all that kind of stuff. Like I love that stuff. It's fun. So I don't know. It's just an internal battle in my mind. Something I really hate about Procreate, as someone who like majority of the time uses Photoshop, is you have to like flatten everything to be able to adjust it, whereas on Photoshop you can just use like a clipping mask with adjustments. So that does make it really hard. You'll see, I think it's around this time, or it might have already happened. I think it's coming up where like I flip it and do it in black and white and stuff. That was really difficult because I had to like merge all the layers and then I don't know, like do it on top of it. But whereas on Photoshop, I could just like apply the black and white to everything and then turn it off. Um, so yeah, that was hard. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's always weird when you finish a painting and you like have some time since you finished it. I'm like, oh my god, I did that. That's cool. I don't really feel like I've done it myself, even though I know I haven't. I remember doing it. It just, I don't know, that time can give you a bit of space between the art and you're like, can be impressed with it or proud of it or whatever, which I am. So that's cool. Like I said, I finished it after I went to see Hadestown, which was crazy. I cried like the whole way through it. Um, I just need to go again and again and again. Like I just want to relive it all the time. Oh yeah, here is me flipping the image. Um, I was really struggling with the likeness, and there's something kind of like vulnerable about doing it and knowing it's going to be recorded for a time lapse is really weird because I mean, usually if I record a time lapse, it's like a conscious thing. But this, like on Procreate, it just does it for you, which is helpful for content, but kind of strange because, like, I don't know. I wonder what other people are gonna think. Like, oh, they're gonna think it looks bad, or they're gonna wonder why I chose that color, or you know, I don't know. You then have to show all the bad stages of the art or the messy stages of it. But I like the texture I managed to create. I'm still like learning about brushes or exploring what kind of brushes work for me, and I'm really struggling with line art on Procreate. I don't know, I can't get like the pressure right or something. So it's that's why I've kind of lent more towards painting stuff. Because I don't really know how to do line art on it like the same way I would on Photoshop. Um, but yeah, it's great. It's really accessible to me. I can like lay on the sofa and do it, which is great because I get tired a lot. Um, this is something you will see in some of my other pieces, especially on this channel. I start like doing lines all around it, like I'm looking at it now, the May Morris painting I did that as well. I love that. I think it's cool. It's kind of like an idea I came up with for myself, I feel. So, well, as much as anything can be all by yourself. Um, so yeah, I actually haven't done it yet in this video. Um, yeah, it's kind of with Hadestown, the color scheme of it is so like red and brown, whereas in my head when I listen to it, it's very green. It's all about like nature and oh, that looks so crusty. Um, spring and things like that. So I really wanted to incorporate like the way it looks in my mind as well as the way the kind of branding is for it. Um, so that they'll hire me and let me do some merchandise for them, please. Anyone, just any job at this point, I'll take anything. Um, but I've tried that a few times. Like I've got so many Hadestown like not finished pieces of art because I come up to that red and green color scheme and just like, oh, I just don't like it. So you'll see throughout this video, I go back and forward of like making it more orange, making it more pink, and making the green more yellow and stuff like that. And hopefully it doesn't look too, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but just too, um, I don't know. It's hard when you've got so many bright colors, but also the more like earthy, neutral tones of like their faces and their hair and stuff. But yeah, I feel like I'm happy with where it's at. The sad thing about Instagram and social media is that everything moves so quickly. I did this like 2 weeks ago and it's like old news, even to myself, I mean. Oh yeah, here are the lines I was talking about. Um, but this is like definitely in my collection of favourite things I've ever done. And as far as I'm concerned, best things I've ever done. Um, so yeah, I Hadestown didn't even post it on their story. Man, that hurt. I'm gonna hopefully when I post this video, they'll post it. It would just be nice to, I don't know, give back to a thing that's given me so much. It's kind of how I feel. Or I like want the people who are in it to see it and be like happy because they made me so happy. Anyway, oh, I had this idea for like the borders. It's like a running thing I've been doing for the past couple of years, very like Art Nouveau, pre-Raphaelite kind of thing. I want like funky William Morris borders on my art, but then you've got to think of what to put in them, and I could not think of anything. And I did have visions of like some really like detailed stuff in them, and this is me like painting over it to kind of make it look a bit more blended in. I think I did a good job with the paint, the brushes and stuff. Oh, and then I realised her arm wasn't like, oh, I was putting off so long. I really don't like drawing hands. I don't know. And I noticed like throughout this process that I really don't do the darker colours enough. Like I don't go dark enough with the dark colours. So I had to keep like going in and making it darker and darker so there was actual like contrast and stuff. I feel like his hand came out well. And I do really love the texture of it all. I love texture. It's the best thing ever. But yeah, her arm, I just kept leaving it because I was like really putting off doing it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. The flower, doing some flower stuff. Um, but yeah, if you are into that kind of thing, I couldn't recommend seeing it enough. I can't believe, like, it feels like a weird dream. Even when I was there, I was just like, I think I had my mouth open the whole time. Um, it was crazy, surreal, and great. Need to see it again, constantly, again and again. Oh yes, here is me using the black and white to kind of check, because like so like the tiniest thing can change how a whole person's face looks. Like even like if you just, I don't know, to make a certain bit lighter makes it like, I don't know, more prominent and stuff like that. So that stuff, I don't know, especially if it's something you're like really trying to capture the likeness, it's like, oh, you can't afford to get it wrong. So I really had to keep going in and checking it and readjusting little bits. And yeah, I'm proud of myself. It's, if I'm like motivated to do it, I can do stuff like this, no problem. Um, it would be harder for me to like be commissioned to do something like this. But because like the Hadestown special interest was like fully, you know, going because I'd just seen it, it was kind of, you know, I could get into it. Um, but yeah, I don't know why I started like that. But yeah, I've got some other content stuff playing. Nothing I ever do is that concrete. I mean, like sometimes I try and do stuff ready for like certain days, like, you know, international something day. Um, but I'm not, you know, skinny dip. I don't post like a happy pancake day, here's 50% off because it's pancake day or whatever. Like, you know, I'm trying to toe the line between seeming real and also being an efficient content creator. Um, I need to post my like Paris Paloma thing again and like finish the time lapse for that. I thought I'd actually posted that already. I feel like I might have, but I actually have no idea because it was so long ago now. Oh, this I was putting off too because I wasn't sure how to like blend the ribbon stuff into her hair. Hopefully I did a good job. I like how her hair came out too. I love drawing curly hair, it's so fun. It's just like my favourite thing ever. I used to eat all the crusts on my bread because so like so I think it's an English thing, I don't know, and they might do it in Americas too, where they say like you'll get curly hair if you eat your cross. Not true, obviously. And yeah, this is just the last few minutes of this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you learnt something or took something from it. I always want to see artist I likes time lapses and processes, so if you feel that way about my art, here is that. Thank you for liking it. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Listen to Hadestown. Oh, look, I even got those shadows of the flower. No stone left unturned. Um, yeah, 15 hours, including that other sketch, or as well as that other sketch thing I'd done. So yeah, I think I put a little video of the final art piece in this. And yeah, or if you want to see it in a still format, check out my Instagram at Ren of Wands. Um, sometimes I'm on the Hadestown subreddit. I don't know. You can check that out if you want. I quite like it over there. And yeah, feel free to comment any questions and hopefully not procreate ones though, because I don't really know that much about it. But yeah, anything. Ask me anything if you would like, and that is all. This is me adding some texture stuff. There are some like techniques in this that I like. Oh, here it is. Fancy panorama. No, that's not what that's called. Anyway, thank you for watching. Oh, it's still going. The frick is happening? Anyway.